Because, you know,
I can't guarantee what that's going to feel like if I try not to look at it.
So we can see it's really tender on that side. We can tape that back a little bit. So we're going to try doing that before we get started with it. How does it feel just when I brush against it?
Not too bad.
Not too bad?
No.
Okay, that's a good start. Good start. Now, have you had ingrown nails before?
Yes.
Yeah. Is this a chronic thing for you?
Yes.
Have you ever had any surgical procedures for the ingrown nail?
No, but
No.
I've always wanted to have the nails off,
Yeah.
but never plucked up the courage to.
Okay.
Because you have to kill the nail bed too, right?
I mean, at the end of the day, it is a surgical procedure too. And so things can go right and things can go wrong. Right? It might work perfectly so that you never have the problem again, or it might cause the nail to grow differently. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna get right in here.
That hurts.
Yeah, that's it. That's good. It's helpful. Okay, so we're gonna take a whole wedge of nail out here. Almost there.
Oh, I'm sorry about
Okay. Put the wedge out. Let's see if there's anything still left in there.
that. Holy.
It's actually pretty good. So what's happening when I'm working on it now is that it's tender because it's been pushed by that nail for so long.
Oh yes, I know.
But that means it's gonna get better from here.
When I walked the dog this morning, going downhill, it was pushing right on that nail. Nothing would stop it.
Yeah.
And, oh God, it was sore.
Clean that out with this if you can tolerate it. Roughening up the nail because we're going to put a band on it. And hopefully the band will help the curvature so that it's much less likely to become ingrown again.
Sorry, I don't mean to be such a wimp.
No, I think you're doing great. So, has the sensation changed a little bit here? Can you feel that
feel
there's a
that.
bit of a alleviation of pressure?
It's hard to tell. Further towards the top of the nail.
Yeah.
Whoa. That I can really feel that.
Okay.
I think it's been constant for so long.
And there's a bit of tissue damage there too, hey?
At home I've been walking around with one shoe on the other foot and a sandal on that foot, but so that nothing touches the toenail, right?
Yeah.
Ah! Oh, 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 oh. I think I need more anesthetic.
Well, we just have one more snip and you're done.
Ah.
Yeah. Yeah. This little piece. Okay.
Sorry.
That's okay. You did great. That's going to guarantee you're not going to have problems for. You're going to be good. Yeah, that's going to heal up really nicely.
You think?
Okay. Oh, yeah, 100%. 100%. We for sure got all that nail out of there.
I'm going to go back on it.
Oh, yeah. Just tapping in here to make sure we didn't.
Should have brought the dog too. You could have done her nails. She's never had a Dremel, but
How does she do with getting her nails done?
she doesn't like it. But
She doesn't like it?
what's up with mother? Well, I don't. I'm very cautious not to touch so quick, and I just take a little bit off each time. I think she went to a real dog clipper.
Yeah.
They take a lot more often. When she's had surgery, when she's asleep, they cut her nails right down. I don't have the nerve to do that.
No, you don't want to deal with the
Well, the thing is, if I hurt
blood
her
trails around the house and.
well, it's not just that. If I hurt her once, she's never going to lie.
Yeah, you want to keep her tough.
She's 83 pounds a day.
Yeah. What kind of dog have you got?
She's a muppet. She came from the
Okay.
and my dog's the same. She's the last one now. She's relatively my age. She's the worst one.
Is she? Is she a little naughty troublemaker?
We have a year wide. She's the worst of it. A lot of people have walked her since I've been not able to,
Yeah.
and they say she's fine. But
You've had a few issues.
I don't
You
know.
know.
How she is, yes.
Mom knows best.
Well, we have to walk. This is why we have to hike up to the bush. Because we have to walk and try and avoid where there's ever any dogs. Is there pus in there?
Yeah.
Is there?
Yeah, there is a little bit.
Well, that's interesting.
It is, isn't it? So, maybe the thickness of the nail was also causing a little bit of damage underneath the nail. So we see that sometimes, if the thickness and the pressure on the nail.
Yeah.
So that's okay though. Now that we've cut the nail back and that fluid can be released and everything can heal up. So you just have to keep an eye on it. Okay?
I was putting polysporin on it, like in the corner there, because, just to soften it and make it feel a little better.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, because I guess Jen, she asked me if it was infected, and I said, I don't think so.
Well, the interesting thing is it's not related, doesn't seem to be directly related to the ingrown nail. So it's something you'll just have to keep an eye on. There's no other signs of infection, like your toe's not overly, it's not swollen or like inflamed or anything like that. So, you know, sometimes we see that. Sometimes we see a little bit of...
No, the pain is from the pressure on that nail.
I won't need this tape anymore because we've totally removed that nail. I'm going to take that tape off. So what the band does is we put it on the bottom of the nail here. And typically with ingrown nails, what we see is that they get more narrow, they curl in more as they get to the tip, right?
As I've gotten older, they've gotten like that,
Yeah, they kind of curl in towards the distal part of the toe, the far end. So what we do is we put the band here at the bottom, and what happens is it's sort of like keeps the nail stable and it stops it from curling inwards when it gets grown.
Okay.
So we want that band to stay on ideally all the way until it grows off to the end of the toe. Okay. So that can be like 6-8 months. It takes...
What about showering?
Totally fine.
Okay.
And no pain. There's no special considerations. It's not going to cause any restrictions for you.
Okay. Probably should put a band on the other big toe too. Well, it's going to be ingrown.
Is it causing problems for you too?
Not quite yet, but you can tell by the shape of it.
Yeah.
It's going to. Now what's this?
This is a cleanser. Cleaning up the toes and before we do our final step here.
Well, I appreciate you coming in because I when I phoned, I was in such agony. It was like, can this be soon?
I know. And, you know, so those are the cases when I will personally come in just to make sure everything goes
I appreciate
well.
That. Thank you. What made you go into feet? Like it's kind of a...
It's very niche, isn't it?
It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, actually, well, you know, I was a nurse already for whatever, 12 years, or however it was at that point, 10 years. And I wanted to do something that was not in the nursing ward, not in the hospital, something a little bit more independent. So really that's how I got into feet. It wasn't necessarily a passion for feet at the beginning. It was more just I wanted to branch out on my own.
Well, that's understandable. And given the stress that's in nursing these days.
That's right. Exactly.
I can't imagine what it would have been like during COVID.
Yeah, like at that point I already had an established, really well established foot care business. And for me, even it was quite stressful for me during COVID, right? And for my business, because we had to prioritize people. You know, for a while we could only go out if it was like, if we could justify that it was an essential service, which it actually is. Foot care is an essential service for a lot of people.
Tell me about it.
Absolutely. Can you imagine, like, if we didn't do anything about this, you know, it would only get worse.
Can't imagine.
Yeah, it only gets worse. It doesn't just get
no,
better.
It definitely is essential.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So yeah, for the most part, we did end up starting up again, and it was tricky times though. I know that there was some areas where foot care nursing was not allowed to continue. And guess what? That's when wounds and amputations start going on the rise.
Yeah.
Right? And there was a lot of amputations, there always is, but an uptick of it through COVID because wounds weren't being identified.
Diabetics Yeah.
Yeah, with the diabetics, exactly. It's super essential for the diabetics.
Yeah, exactly.
We are like the first line of defense for them to keep the calluses and the nails down so they don't cause wounds, right? And to
be able to do it without nicking them,
without nicking them. That's right.
Heal.
To do it safely with, like, our equipment is surgically sterile. Like you saw me open that pack, right?
Package,
yeah. Okay, so I just put a little bit of primer, it's called, on there. It just helps the band stick on your nail. Yeah, gets it all primed up.
And then we got on that foot, on that.
Yeah, what's the bruising from?
I don't know. Because none of the shoes that I have are wide enough at the top, right? They're seemingly, they squash the toes together. Maybe that's it. I bruise easily though. Well, obviously I'm a bleeder.
Yep, yeah. Well, the you know, if they're not wide enough at the toe box, that also contributes to ingrown nails, right? Because just that constant bit of pressure on the side of the nail is enough to curve it inwards.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, these little bands are quite a godsend, because
Never heard of them.
I know, right? It's and this is why I like to. One of the reasons why I like to record the work that I do. It's just so helpful for other nurses to see, and even other people to see that there are non-invasive solutions for correcting nails.
Yeah.
Right? It doesn't always have to end in surgery.
Well, it used to be that a GP would remove nails, but they don't do anything like that anymore. Well, I guess they're so busy.
Yeah. You
They
know,
don't deliver babies anymore. They don't. Yeah.
I honestly, and because they don't really do it, they're not the people to do it.
No.
And you know, because they don't necessarily have
It's
enough
interesting
experience.
You should say that, because my longtime doctor retired, and I was lucky enough that she got
Found
this
you
young
another one?
doctor
Yeah.
to take over the practice, who, I think she's a wannabe surgeon. But anyway,
okay,
when I was having so much pain with this back, and I was waiting for the pain clinic, I would go to the naturopath in Ladysmith, and he was wonderful. He would inject me with that, and she said, well, next time I'll do it. And I thought, yeah, the hell you will, because you've only just graduated, and I'm not sure that, you know, they can't be everything, if you know what I mean. They can't.
That's just exactly it. That's why there's people that
you can
specialize
practice
in
on
different
somebody
areas,
else.
right? Yeah.
And he trained it a couple of times,
Sometimes, and I just, you know, and I mean this just gently, and sometimes, right? Like, as a foot care nurse, I'm just more knowledgeable about how to treat certain things on the foot than the family doctor is.
Well,
because I do it every day. I specialize, you know, all of my education is around this.
And they can't, like I just said, they can't be everything to everything.
Right?
I mean, it's basically a GP is a general knowledge, isn't it?
That's right.
And they can send you on your way to whomever.
You're doing very good with me handling your toe.
I
It must be feeling a bit better.
I felt it then, but
Yeah. It's been bearable though, hey? Yeah, that's good. I'm so glad to hear that.
so will I be.
What's that?
So will I be.
Yeah. Well, we're all done with that toe now. We got the band on there.
Wow.
Yeah, we got the nail out of there. And now you just have to, you've got this little, it's like almost like an old blood blister. It's mostly healed up though. It's just going to take a little bit of time, and that's fine. It's all closed. Nothing, no open area or anything there.
Okay. Well, I'm glad that I found you on the, well, I found you on the internet too. When I was having so much pain, I thought, I can get to Duncan.
Okay. Just a little, top it off with a little bit of iodine. And that'll help dry out whatever was sort of going on, probably under the nail too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, is that okay? A little sensitive still?
Mm-hmm. Well, it's not gonna heal right away, is it? I mean, it's gonna be sensitive for a while.
It should, like maybe 3 days.